everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris. Grand Admiral, no scaling, I'm your host, Fade. It's episode 17. We're still embroiled in the world's longest war of all time. It's just a mess. The Sidron are over here, and take a look at one of these after-action reports. Lost. None. So, this is interesting. Evasion. Somebody said that...
Spaceport under attack.
See, somebody said that what happens is some of these ships are not getting destroyed. They're escaping. Escape. Which is the explanation for somebody saying this is not a bug. Okay, but we saw what happened when we left the system. Yeah, sure, some escape ships may have come back, but then they began to multiply very quickly. So, like, this is showing you this ship was not lost. Nothing of one. We didn't lose any ships. This is our fleet right here, 54 corvettes, 3 cruisers, 12 battleships, a dreadnought, the Red Tide, the Gift. It's showing you all this. And this is saying this cruiser didn't get destroyed. And that cruiser didn't get destroyed. And that destroyer didn't get destroyed. And that cruiser did. So how long do we have to go before we finally get rid of all of the ships and they stop escaping? I don't know. I'm hopeful.
Station under attack.
Oh, station under attack. Where at? Where on Earth would that be happening? Where on the galaxy would that be happening? Wherever it was happening, it stopped happening very quickly, I think. So, it's like we have to let it sit through until all of those ships that can't escape stop escaping. So, let me think about that real quick. Let me try to problem solve this. We do have the Juggernaut, and it has several special abilities, which we give ships allied weapon range. Is there a way to point defense damage effects on hostile ships? I was hoping that there would be an effect on hostile ships to make it such that they couldn't get away. That doesn't seem to exist, and I doubt it exists on our Titan as well. We could look. Daily hull armor regen, tracking, ship fire rate. Emergency effect on hostile ships. Emergency faster than light jump cooldown plus 100%. Combat disengagement chance minus 20. So it does exist. So if we change that and save that, yes. And then we go back here and look. Do any of these have Titan? This one has a Titan here. So you're gonna upgrade your ships, buddy. And maybe that'll help. So then, that's the crashing wave. Does he have a Titan? No. Okay. So I need another ship with a Titan. We need more Titans. Let's go find our Titans. Straggler ship. You can't leave there, and you don't have a Titan anyway. I got an idea. Because this may take a while. Let's just go to the mega shipyard. Let's just make several Titans. We can afford a bunch more. Let's just make a few of them. Titan class. Gonna make 10 of them. And we're gonna see if we can manage to make them and get them over here and have them contribute to this battle.
Construction complete.
And make these ships not get away. Because this very much feels like a bug. I mean, come on. It just keeps going on and on.
Battle commenced.
Yeah, battle commenced. Yeah, it commenced all right. What's going on up here? Oh, so there's the Sidron Index has some ships up here. That's where some of their ships have fled. Scaroo, we can't leave those. Hurricane can't get its ships to leave either. It needs to stay there. What do you got here? Join all these guys together. Make a bigger fleet. Alright, so we got 7.4k against these. Can you guys just get here? Yeah, that'd be great.
Special project complete.
Our study of the energy anomalies produced by the dubious abyss dimensional rifts has finally yielded results. The energies involved in the creation of these portals are unlike any we have ever encountered. And we get a bunch of research from them. Unprotected trade route passes through the two-bin system.
Research complete.
It's right there. We don't care about it. It's not our big deal. Okay, so we have this here. We have this gateway here. We want this is going to the homeworld. Alright, so what we have to do here is say... Let's see, that's not necessarily where I wanted to build that thing, but that's where it is. So reach of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if we built one right here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, we don't have to go all the way over there. We don't have to go to there. Okay. So if we built it here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So yeah. 1, 2, 3. Build it right here. Alright, so what we're going to do is build a trade hub here. And it's going to collect all the trade from all these other places. This, I guess we'll keep it, but jeez. Let's make it an actual bastion then. Defense grid supercomputer. Upgrade it and give it ships. Alright. We'll do that. So we're going to collect the trade from there and shoot that over. This place, gateway constructed. This place down here is going to get the same situation. So we tell this one, hey, you now have a gateway. You could just shoot it all the way up to the homeworld. Come on now. Right. Yeah, there we go. Dummy. And then what we have to do is make this thing gather correctly. Trade, upgrade, and how much more trade does it need? 1, 2, 1, 2. It needs a third one. 1, 2 to there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it needs 3 trade hubs. Come on now. Why are you not working out here? There you go. Now you don't. You're connected. And this goes to here. And this goes to here, except we don't need that one. We don't need this. Downgrade it. I mean, it's sitting on this doorway to these guys. I guess. We can keep it. And give it a defense grade supercomputer. And get it grabbing stuff. Matter decompressor. Extraction. It's done. Matter decompressor's done. Very nice. I like that. Dyson Sphere construction is underway. Matter decompressor's done. Alligate. Can we just do? Yes, remove that hotkey. 5. Let's go to 5. That's an L gate. Remove it. 6. Remove 7. That is the matter decompressor, but we already have it on that one. So we don't need it there. And this is Our influence planet. Okay.
Construction complete.
So these guys have a whole bunch more ships that just appeared out of nowhere. They all decided to go over here. And now they have a bunch of them. Leftover. What do we have down here? We have 2 fleets, right? Crashing Wave and Leftover Meatloaf. Leftover Meatloaf doesn't have any ships. Get over here. Oh, come on. I mean, you can't go there. Get over there. Okay, go. Where's Leftover Meatloaf? This one needs to get more ships. So where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna head off to? You're gonna go wander way over there to get to a gateway. Oh my gosh. This war. Alright, what do we have here? Those are not ambitions that are coming off. And I need what for exotic gases as shield boost? Alright.
Construction complete.
Exotic gases as fuel. Alright. Jeez. So what's over here? Puzuno. What is this? Did they move their capital here or something? Member of the... They're overcome... Sovereign Julian owned them. How odd. I could sell a bunch more of these, can't I? So we're not running up into that wall so much. Which means I could buy some more of those. Mega shipyard. 433 days from building all those Titans.
Research complete.
Spread them around. See if we can put an end to this darn thing. Orgo's 139. Yeah, because it... What's this? We're at the year 2420. Repeal minor administrative sanctions. Yeah, we said no. You can keep your administrative sanctions. There's actually an achievement with getting all the sanctions and then denouncing somebody who's not in breach of galactic law. I think there's a lot of achievements you could get in this game if you wanted to set no end date on it and play on the largest galaxy. There'd be a lot of achievements you could get that way. Alright, you guys here. Look at all these. Promising officer. Promising officer. Yeah. I'm waiting for the other battleship to show up. It's on its way. It's almost there. Yeah, it's coming through that. It's going to go through that gateway.
Research complete.
Pass through the end of the 001 collectors. Oh, that didn't take long. I wonder if these 2 ships can just do it. Let's go over here. Crazy. Crashing Wave, how you doing? Are you able to get your ships upgraded at all? Probably not, because the frequency with which the enemies are coming through. Probably not. Yeah. Paradox, you might want to rethink this. Maybe just a little bit. What's this? 4K. you still busy? Well, I'm sure I have some planets here that I can manage while this is going on. Gulk. What are we looking at here? We're short on rare crystals. Alright. You need some things that'll give you some jobs, though. Some big jobs. This is a research planet already, so we might as well leave it that way. What is this? Research complexes. Yeah, we can repair those. We'll give you some of the necessary things, though.
Research complete. Battling aggressor station.
Battling aggressor stations. That thing didn't pass, which is good. Alright, what would be the one we'd want to go down here? Rules of War. Reverence for life. Oh, that's not happening. Crisis declaration. The enemy of my enemy. What is it? Castigation proclamation. Any empire in the galactic community can propose a resolution to denounce an empire in breach of galactic law, or that is not a galactic community member. The animosity cast a spell can be diplomatic weight from fleet power. 80% naval capacity plus 4, ship upkeep plus 20%. I would like to propose that one. Renegade Containment Doctrine grants the preemptive war to cast a spell on empires that are not members of the galactic community. I wonder if that can be used against our overlord. I doubt it, knowing the way this game operates. We'll support that one, and then we'll go to Castigation Proclamation. Oh, I have to wait 1,400 days. Okay. We can't have you doing that. Just can't. Can't have you proposing too many things. Make you seem like you're special. You're not special. Not special until you're the Galactic Emperor, are you? Some of these places we're gonna pop some Oh, you know what? There's an achievement for... Which one of these? Curator Enclave. I'd like to recruit one of your scientists. Of course, you shall have your donation. There's an achievement for that. There it is. Mad Genius. I was looking at my achievements today because it was asked how much I care about achievements. And the answer to that question is pretty simple. It depends on the game. I typically have learned not to care about achievements in games because what happens is a lot of games have achievements that are unachievable for me personally. They have achievements that have to do with multiplayer. Battletech is a prime candidate of that. I love the Battletech game and I loved getting so many of the really cool achievements. But there are too many achievements that are multiplayer only.
Research complete.
And I have no flippin' interest in doing that. So that becomes a situation where I just give up on the achievements because I don't care. Buy some gases every month. And buy some crystals every month and see if we can't get our stocks set up. But when I was looking through Stellaris's achievements today before I started playing, I noticed that I think all the achievements are achievable and none of them are really tied to multiplayer, which is good. So I started thinking about, how would I get most of these? What would I have to do to get them? These guys showed up. I think that the big fatty here, this fleet, stay over here. Don't let them go anywhere. Yeah, so basically the bottom line is, if a game has achievable achievements, I'm all over it. I want
Research
'em.
complete.
But if a game doesn't have achievable achievements, I can't be bothered to care. It just feels depressing to have them sit there and be like, yeah, I'm never going to get those. And that's how it feels. You're sitting there staring at it and saying, that's never going to happen. I am never getting that. There are games that I think have done achievements really, really well, and I can't think of them off the top of my head. I just know. Well, for instance, I'll give you a great example. Cyberpunk did its achievements perfectly. I thought it did a fantastic job with them because they were all achievable. You only had to play through the game 3 times, get all 3 different endings to get all the achievements. It was awesome. There was nothing there that was impossible. There was nothing there that really forced you to do something insanely crazy. There was one difficult achievement that had to do with melee hand-to-hand, which my character didn't play, so I really had... That was a pain in the butt. I kind of wish that one hadn't have been there. But other than that, it was really cool. On a lot of these worlds, we're going to take our robots production and replace it with luxury residences to give them the last little bit of housing they need. You guys can join forces. There's 3 battleships there. And you know I got the perfect place for you to go down here. This fleet down here doesn't... it still has room. Alright, let's take a look at... These things should be done now. Yep, there's a couple of them right there. There's one right there. Typhoon class. Come over here. Join this guy here. I think a bunch of these ended up leaving. It ended up, no, not crashing leaving from. Okay. So Typhoon class. I think a bunch of them ended up in here. Yep. So I gotta split these off. 9 Titans. Transfer. Okay. Actually, I want you to have 1 Titan. 1 Titan. Okay. You can have 1 Titan in your fleet. Alright. Now, the rest of them. The rest of these Titans, we're going to send over here. We're going to split them up into 2 equal groups over here. And maybe into up here if we find out that they're...
Research complete.
Steadfast. This is against who? This is Verdamon Station. So it's still the same ones. If you take a look at all these. They're in Verdamon, so that's where we're going to send them all. We'll send them to Verdamon. In fact, I believe I sent them to the wrong location. But here they are. Wait, no, not there. Where are they? Here they are. No, they're not. Where are they? Right here. This Raging Sea, but let's just call them Titans. And we're going to send them to Verdamon. Yep, get over there. See if we can't kill off some more of those ships and somehow. Ring world frame completed. Yay. You gotta click twice. Clicking once doesn't get it done. Dyson Sphere frame. I could go get another one of those ring worlds to start work on, but we're low on alloys. So we built that where? Right here? Yeah. So let's give you control for... Okay. Good job. How's it? And where are we at on influence world? I mean, this is the... You want to make sure that you have enough here. There's plenty on this planet. You want to make sure that you have enough so that whenever those edicts fall off, all your ambitions, you can just turn them all back on. Yeah, because what I'd really like to do is the cleanup here. I'd really like this war to be over to get the planets that we're going to get. So here, for instance, this needs to go 1, 2, 3. We've got 2 on it. Grab another trade hub. Upgrade this thing. So now it's just collecting it from all around here and shooting it off. This one, 1, 2, 3. So we start doing this. This thing over here is upgrading. We'll get defenses in it later. So that takes care of this chunk of planets over here. And then these guys over here are getting theirs done. What's happening here? What's going on here? Oh, you're not sending yours through. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Construction ship. Let's get you to build a gateway construction center right there. And it will take what we'll trade it as and shoot it off. This is going to be a bastion. Oh yeah, and what we'd really like to do, let's see. 1, 2, 3 to get from there, and 1, 2, and then you have to shoot it down through here. I may be building that gateway in the wrong spot.
Research complete.
Well, hold on. I'm going to move you then. I'm going to tell you to build it right here. I don't think I get that influence back. Maybe I do. There's a couple of planets down here. Terraform these.
Construction complete.
It's an orbital habitat. That's the other thing, is we have a bunch of different planets and we were terraforming everything there for a while, to try to make our species all the same. So one thing we can do is go through and look at the different planets and see which ones need to be terraformed. Everybody should be tropical, and if we don't have one, we can terraform. Or Gaias. Gaias are great. Or Renegades. Tropical. Orbital habitat. Ring world. Orbital habitat. Gaia worlds. Very nice. Ring worlds. Arid world. Terraform this one into a tropical. You can do that with the people on it. That's totally fine. Tomb world. Oh yeah, terraform that world into a tropical world. The whole entire galaxy is going to be a tropical paradise. Alright, we're out of money. We'll do those for now. That'll change some things, won't it? How we doing for gases? Okay, I'm still short. We need to build a few more. We'll get them on the new ring worlds. As we work our way around, here's an example of a world that needs what? It's got its amenities, it's got a ton of research on it. Just Research.
Research complete.
Research complete. It's nice. This planet's finding it harder to find workers. It's out of jobs. When you run out of jobs, you gotta make some jobs. That's why we need to probably buy a bunch of gases and things like that, because I'm not sure we're gonna have enough. To handle it all. On the other hand, there's a lot of free stuff here. Oh, so, is it considering this is us having this system? We can actually do something with this? This is Coggin Station. It's up here in the Sidron Index, but it's saying that I have this station. Oh, I can't build on it yet, though. It'll be mine. Return control. Yeah, I don't want to return control to anybody. I want it to come to an end, is what I want. We want the war to come to an end. How are you guys doing over here? You got what? Crashing wave. Okay. And there's a Titan over here. So I have a plan for you. Let's do this. Let's try that again. It has a Titan. I'm going to do this. Oh, it says that's a Corvette. What's going on? It's merging. Okay, I'm just going to let you merge then. What's over here? Typhoon. Red Tide and Titans. Alright, so Typhoon, I want you to come over here. And I want, like, Gift. How many does Gift have? How many Titans does Gift have? None. What's it look like? It's currently 204. So it's got a Zealot class escort. Get rid of that. It's got a battle cruiser Avatar class, which has been destroyed. It's got this dreadnought that's left. So now it's at 164, 180. Alright, I'm going to add some Titans to it. So what I'm going to do is Gift. Not the one that's moving. I'm going to split off like 2 is 32. I'm going to split off like 3 of these guys. Alright, Red Tide. Diplomacy. Why did it do that? Stop. Okay, Gift. I don't care about the Typhoon. Raging Sea is the one you want. You guys want to merge. And then, because you're going to merge... Yep, so now you have 1, 2, 3 Titans. Go in here. And make... Yeah, you got 3 Titans. Good. Okay. So it's still got an extra ship. But is it not counting the escorts? Anyway. Let's see what happens. Titans, let's give you somebody. Daily hull rate evasion, sublight speed. Ship fire rate, sublight speed. And daily hull regen, yeah. You can be a part of that group there. Alright, let's see if fewer of the ships start making it out alive. one died. That one did not. That one did not. That one died. That one did not. That one did not. Escaped, escaped, escapes. Escape. So, there's only so much we can do. It's just, I think they need to, I think Paradox needs to look at this, though, as a game mechanic. I think it's, and here's the other thing. We're at 100% to 60.
Research complete. Construction
I don't know
complete.
how they're calculating this number. I mean, look, it says demanding surrender, demanding unoccupied systems. Okay, but listen, we've pretty much occupied everything we can. Is the occupation from your vassals not counting? I don't know. They need to look at their math. It seems like something's off. We've done everything we can do, and we're no closer to getting an end to this war. So I think that to me tells me that it's off, that they need to re-examine this. This is kind of a joke, and it shouldn't be happening like this. So, like me. My recommendation to Paradox would be to take a look at that, see if they can figure out exactly what's going on,
a new home.
maybe how to fix it. Maybe consider fixing it.
Construction complete.
It makes me sound like some kind of curmudgeon, but really, instead of adding new features to the aquatic species, I'd like you to fix things like this.
Research complete.
I'd really love it if Paradox would come out and say, for the next year, we're just going to fix bugs. We're just going to fix bugs. We're just going to fix things like espionage. Because guess what? You can't espionage a fallen empire. And you can't espionage the Marauders. And you'll never know what kind of ships they're using. You're just going to have to become way more powerful than them to guarantee victory. Because trying to play smart is not for you. We don't do smart around here anymore. We do espionage. Except you can't do espionage. You know? It's like, come on, man. You can't do espionage. I can't spy on them. Okay, so instead of wanting us to play smarter, you want us to play harder. You just want us to play dumber. Just get in there and be strong. Just make sure you have an overwhelming number of ships and you'll be okay. Alright. That's the thing about the espionage, is that from my point of view, is it really removes early game wars. It really takes them out of the equation, because when your fleet is 1K and the enemy's fleet is 1K, the makeup of your ship design can make all the difference between winning and losing, and going with supremacy traditions and getting that, and your civics and ethics, getting those extra 10% to fire rates that add up to like 30%. That and your ship design can make all the difference in the world when your fleet is 1.1K and theirs is 1.1K. When you're both running around with 10 corvettes or 20 corvettes or 16 corvettes and a couple destroyers. I mean, that's huge. So you want to play it smart. But Paradox has said, nah, you guys are too smart for us. We're just going to dumb the game down a little bit. So if you want to win, make sure that if your enemy has a 1K fleet, you have a 2K fleet, and then it won't matter. Maybe. Hopefully. So I just, I'd say, hey, if I was in those production meetings, I'd be like, okay, first order of business, let's fix this. Let's fix some of these things. Let's fix this fleet manager so that when people click on it and say, oh yeah, I want to look at this fleet, it actually does what it did this time, which is take us to that fleet. You've seen a bunch of other times when it doesn't take me to that fleet. It stops working. You click on it and you're like, oh yeah, I want to look at this fleet. I want to look at Typhoon. Oh, you can't look at that one because it's not a fleet. It's doing it now, but there's been a bunch of times when it hasn't. Red Tide. It went to that one. That's nice. Gift. Oh, it actually went to that one. See, it doesn't work all the time. It's a hard bug to pin down. I don't know what the problem is, but sometimes it doesn't go to those fleets, and it's just... I would also do something else. Here's another thing I would do. And it's this. I gotta find. Where is it? Crashing Wave, Typhoon. Where's Gift? Gift is over here. This fleet. Okay. This escort is a zealot class, which we don't have a blueprint for, which is part of what messes up the numbers. Right now we are at 228 because we have too many ships. It says it has a dreadnought right there. 16 of 16. You can look at these. It's got 2 escorts, even though the blueprint says 1. I don't know what's happening there. It's saying we have 2 escorts, but maybe they're a different. Maybe the other one is a different blueprint. So, I feel like this could be better. I feel like it could be done a little bit better. Like, okay, so here's what happens is I can go in here and I can say add a whole bunch more corvettes, and it stops allowing me to add when it hits the 230 limit. But here's the thing, it's currently at 228. I feel like it should stop when I get to 2 more corvettes. It should stop and it should say, oh yeah, you already have a bunch of these ships. The ships that are in here, look at this. It's showing me that there's an escort in the blueprint, but I have 2 escorts in the fleet. They should be a part of the blueprint. That's what should happen. They should be a part of the blueprint, and if you don't want them, you have to get rid of the ships. So this, to me, is one of the game's biggest flaws, and it has to be fixed. You shouldn't say can't, because it clearly does. What should happen is if a ship is in the fleet, it's automatically included in the blueprint. That would help these numbers not getting off. You add a ship to the fleet, it automatically gets added to the blueprint. Even if you don't possess the blueprint, even if the blueprint doesn't show up in here because you didn't make it, that's fine. But add it. Add it here so that we're not doing things like, creating fleets that are 250 out of 230 or garbage like this. I'm at 228, but it's saying, oh yeah, but your blueprint's only at 204. Yeah, but if I go in here and I do this and I go to the max of my blueprint and I hit reinforce, it's going to create 26 corvettes and try to add them to a fleet that only has room for 2. This isn't hard, Paradox. Just fix the math. Why do I have an escort over here? It says 2 of 2 escorts. 2 of 2. But only 1 blueprint is included here. I'll leave it to you to imagine what Joe Vargas would say in that situation. I'm pretty sure you can imagine what he'd say. You done blanked it up. You know what I'm saying? You done messed it up. So fix it, Fix it, I say. I'm gonna get some more of those. And then this situation, this endless war. Look at achieve war goals. Let's take a look at this. What the numbers mean. It's saying that occupation is plus 52. But we've occupied everything. And we've occupied all their systems. And we've crushed all their ships. So I think what's happening here is it's saying that only the primary person has occupied enough to count for 52, and that all the stuff that we occupied aren't counting for that, which makes the number wrong. Listen, if you or your allies or your vassals occupy something, it should count towards that number, and that number should mean more than all that other crap. Because here's what should happen. When you've conquered your enemies, such the way we have, when it is your symbol all over the place, you and everybody on your side of the war, so it's us and the Rufar Guards. Here's the problem. Here's the problem is that these bozos are not just at war with us. They're at war with the Sidrons are not just at war with us. They're at war with the Rufari Guardians and the Galactic Physodai Empire. That's us, and that's one war. But they're also at war with the Jabanid Multistellar Sovereign, the Julian Confederation, the Glur Covenant, the Tizina Empire. They're at war with the Mutual Assistance Accord. So because the Mutual Assistance Accord has some planets occupied, and we have other planets occupied, neither one of us is ever going to win. Well, that's just dumb. Because the opposite effect of what should happen is going to happen. What should happen is you've been conquered by two different alliances. You should quit and give up. Instead, the math is stubbornly going to allow them to hold out because neither enemy, neither federation, neither alliance is going to be able to completely conquer them. Well, how dumb is that? So the war rules are, you have to completely conquer your enemy, and if somebody else joins in a different war against them, they can essentially cockblock you from getting a complete and total victory. Well, that's dumb. We've all collectively destroyed these fools. They should capitulate. So Paradox, fix this, okay? Fix this.
Research complete.
This is the bug that needs to be fixed. Because it's preventing us from getting a total war. And we have clearly totally won. There's nothing else they can do. You know, they're squashed. So what do we have to do now? We have to... And here's the other thing. As a vassal, I have no control over what my superior is doing. Which is a little bit of a bummer because I'm the player in the game. And I understand they don't want to break their rules and let the player influence what the Overlord is doing. So if you're not going to let the player influence the Overlord and say, hey man, just take the status quo, just do it. Do it so we can get out of this mess. Since you're not going to allow the player to do that, you have to fix the math and allow this to be a victory. Because this is baloney. It's not even good baloney. It's bad baloney. It's just bad.
Research complete.
You have to start putting a lot more exotic refinery gases down. So we gotta start taking some worlds and just really gassing them up. Which, you know, I think we all know that that's possible with just one trip to Taco Bell. You can do that. You can gas
Research
it up
complete.
real good. This channel is sponsored by Taco Bell? No, just kidding. Really, they'd have to pay me for that joke. And they're not gonna. They probably don't even appreciate that, but... Hey man, I don't make the food, I just eat it. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody who's like, ugh, Taco Bell is gross. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you something about Taco Bell. I was an enlisted airman for a few years. Lived on base in a dorm. And yes... The food on base is all right. The food in the... I don't know. Everybody's got a different name for it. The PX, whatever you want to call it.
Construction complete.
The cafeteria, the mess hall. I mean, I'll tell you what I loved about... I'll tell you what I loved about the mess hall. There are two things. As an airman who's single, who's living on base in a dorm, you have access to the mess hall at all times for free. You just go in there and... wave your ID or whatever, however it is. I can't even remember. It's been 25, 30 years ago. But breakfast is the best meal of the day in that place because they will make omelets from scratch. So you get really, really fresh food, which is fabulous. And I probably ate an omelet every single day that I was enlisted. I'm not kidding. And it was wonderful. Lunch and dinner can be hit and miss. You know, it's cafeteria food. It's not fantastic. Let's put it that way. But they did make hamburgers, and I would eat a lot of those. You could go through and guide flip you burgers, and it's like, hey, I'll take a couple of those. But the other really cool thing about the mess hall is they have midnight meal, which is awesome. And so a lot of us, what we like to do is stay up late. And what we would do is go over to the gym, which actually was across the street from our dormitory. And we had this huge building that had a track inside of it. And one half of the building was split into weightlifting equipment and various other treadmills and things like that. And then the other half was a volleyball court. And it was easy in a dorm of 77 guys to get 12 people that wanted to play volleyball. So we would go play volleyball from 10 to midnight or whatever. And then we'd go to midnight meal. And I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. That was one of the best times in my life. Those guys that played volleyball and went to midnight meal, that was some of the most fun I've ever had. And I miss that, and I miss those guys. That was awesome. And you go to midnight, and the cool thing about midnight meal was they'd have a little bit of everything, which meant they also had the guys making omelets. So God, you'd get 2 omelets in one day, and it was like, oh. But my point is, to get back to Taco Bell, you do get bored of eating that food. You get bored of what they offer for lunch and dinner and all that kind of stuff. And you just want to, and since you're an airman and you don't have money, really, we get paid nothing. If anybody thinks that the military is a gateway to a good living, forget it. It's, unless you're an officer, you get paid squat. I mean, it was enough for me to make my car payment, and thank God I was living in a dorm and didn't have to pay rent, So you have a little bit of money, not a lot. And so a place like Taco Bell that's dirt cheap becomes your refuge from the monotony of the food in the mess hall. And, they had like 69-cent bean burritos, I think, at the time. I mean, it was awesome. You just drive off base, you'd pick up a few bean burritos, you come back with your bag of Taco Bell and eat that. And then you're living in a dorm room by yourself, so you don't have to worry about killing anybody but yourself. My first dorm, you actually did have a roommate. There are a lot of dorms in the military that'll have roommates, and I'm sure there are people listening right now going, I didn't have a room to myself. and I feel bad for you. I really do. I didn't have my very first assignment when I got on base for the first 2 months. I had a roommate, and I had a horrible roommate who was a slob.
Research complete.
And that drove me nuts. But very quickly I transitioned into a top secret security clearance job, and I got moved to a different dorm, and we all had our own rooms. And that was fantastic. So, my own room. I could gas it up as much as I wanted to. So I could have all these little gases. Complete. All these gases right here. Those exotic gases. They weren't that exotic, but they were Taco Bell gases, There was a lot of fun stuff that happened back in those days in the military. I mean, it was not an easy job by any stretch, and I had one of the easier jobs. I had a top secret security clearance. I worked in a lab. I didn't do anything difficult. I didn't run around with a machine gun getting shot at in Afghanistan, Those people are doing the real work. The real hard work, anyway. Our work was quite a bit different. A lot different, really. And quite a bit more deadly. I like to tell people that I spent every day of my career in the military praying that I never actually had to do my job for real, because if I did, millions of people were going to die. And that's not a good feeling. Let me tell you, that's not one of those things you wake up and say, hey, yeah, awesome. But that's the job, It's the job, and unlike Paradox, those guys seem to know how to do it. This is ridiculous. I mean, we're going to have to go until our war exhaustion is 100 before this game is going to say, oh yeah, okay, sure, you can be done. I've got all these Titans over here. Just, reinforce the fleet for what? What's it say? I've got 5 and 9 Titans. So I removed those Titans, but it didn't change the blueprint. That's kind of amazing. So, command limit, yeah, 80. That's what I want. Tell you what I'll do though. I'll give you some screeners. Because I've got 47k. I'll just make you some more ships. How's that sound? You can have a little bigger fleet. They'll come from somewhere. Who's going to build them? Shipyards, Hygroff, Mega Shipyard. Yeah, you're going to build them. Cool. Yeah, it's just, it's nutty. I mean, this is absolutely nuts. You're thinking, I want this to be over, and I have no influence over it being over. This is a theme with Paradox's games. You see this more in Crusader Kings 2, is you have way less control in that game over wars. And that drives me bananas. And this kind of lack of control here, not being able to put an end to it, the math being wrong, so we're never going to achieve war goals. We may get to the earliest the crisis can show up is the year 2450, so we may actually get there. Oh, cool. So Castigation Proclamation passed. Well, Alien Megastructure. So if we go down to resolutions there, Castigation Proclamation. Renegade Containment Doctrine. I can't propose it for another 2,500 days, which is too bad. Diplomatic weight from fleet power, so since we have huge fleets, ours is now that. What happens if we become... How do we become the ruler again? That's what I want to do. The greater good. Balance in the middle. Slavery of all types is banned. That's nice. Diplomatic weight from pops. So balance in the middle, basic subsistence in decent conditions, and this is the one I don't understand. Is why is academic privilege living standard banned? Balance in the middle. Oh, okay. Dyson Sphere panels. Install. Okay, so let's go to... That's the Dyson Sphere. Matter decompressor. Okay. So, wait, what? 3? 3 is the matter decompressor. Partial Dyson Sphere. There. I gotta go over here. Look at this. Get some people on this ring world. First of all. Only founder species. Okay. Let's call this Barty Yam Ring A. And then Control 4. So we know how to come back to the system. Get those up. Yeah, so kind of crazy. Like to see the game figure this out. But yeah, Crusader Kings, even less control than this. It's just kind of nutty. So it drives me nuts. I like to have control. I like to be able to at least be in charge. We'll go back to here though. Great. I want to look at this before the end of the video. So set default rights, citizenship, decent conditions. So chemical bliss, social welfare. Is that the... So that's what would be allowed. Social welfare would be allowed. Okay. Social welfare would
Research
work
complete.
if we did balance in the middle, and we could get slavery of all types banned, and we could probably hurt a lot of other people with that. Like that. And diplomatic weight from pops, which we know we have a lot. Yeah. Propose that sucker. We're gonna propose it. Can we emergency measure it?
Research complete.
No, it's there. That's what we want to see. So what we're gonna do is go fix our species once again. Pops, that's us. Fisa die. Set rights. This is gonna cost us. Social welfare is gonna cost us. Set default rights. Social welfare. Allow. We set to default. Yes, we gotta go robots. Set rights. Social welfare. I love it. It's got the arrow next to it, though. That's cool. It says you can't do that. Awesome. What's this? Target of a cast a spell. Can now use the animosity to cast a spell against this. Oh, really? Well, it's not like we don't already have a ton of wars here going on. Robot. What about the rest of the robots? These robots. Yeah, okay, so they're set. These robots. They're set. So what now? Let's go look. We are in breach of this resolution. Basics assistance, stratified economy, decent conditions, academic privilege. Basic and decents. Okay. Let's go back to the top here. Full citizenship. The FISA die. Set rights. Stratified economy. No. Social welfare. Oh no! We grabbed the wrong one. Be unable to change it again? Oh. You idiot. What about these guys? Set rights to social welfare. Yes. Now are we in breach? No. Good. Okay. Aha, they didn't like that though. They gave us all that animosity cast with bow. That's funny. Okay, well. That's their own problem. We don't like you. Gonna be big mad now. Yeah, so let's see. Things that we need. Oh yeah, we're gonna need a lot more of the consumer goods. Crystals and oops. Uh-oh, what came off? Ambition, architectural renaissance. Turn them all back on. There you go. So some of these planets.
Research
complete. What we need to do is go through. Okay. Research complete. Let's go up top and backwards. We're going to pause the game so that all this rigmarole doesn't happen. We know we need a little bit more bureaucracy. This planet can afford some of that. We'll work backwards. Ooh. This one's got research. It's got a ton of jobs. Tons of jobs. That's building. Okay. This world. Tons of jobs. If they got jobs, we're fine. If they don't have jobs, then we have to worry. Like this planet doesn't have any more jobs. So, I'm going to replace this with gases. Oh, food processing facility. We're going to do that. And then it needs a few more jobs so it can bump up and well, it can't unlock this slot. System capital complex is as big as we can go. This one. Okay, this one, same thing. Doesn't have a lot of living space left. So here's what I need to do is upgrade that, and then this. What am I going to do? Let's take one of these researchers and replace it with, let's see, Ministry of Production, and raise that up to take care of a couple of those workers. I'm looking for the big systems that have this stuff on it. This is a waste here. So we're going to roll through the end of this episode trying to fix a lot of this stuff. These guys are fine. They don't have any jobs. They've got 12 housing left, so they can provide more jobs at the cost of gases. This has some of this here, but this is wasted on this system. So I think what I'd rather do is replace this with generators. And you're gonna be like, yeah, that's gonna make that number way bigger. I know. This is a waste. Replace these with the last 2 generator districts and mining districts. And they've got plenty of jobs. These people are not happy. Let's get them some happiness. This is a special planet. And we're going to take this and replace it with cities so they have more living space for all the rest of their jobs. This one isn't going to be happy, is it? Okay. Well, we'll leave the robots. We're not tapped out in a lot of places. Okay, so this is interesting. Turn this up. Same thing here. Turn that up. We need a Ministry of Production on this planet. So let's take this and replace it. And raise these up so that they replace those lost jobs. 1 job, no living space. So to this. No jobs, 3 living space. So we need more jobs. Decisions. Can't make that one any bigger. Can make that one bigger. One last job here, that's it. No jobs here, only 2 living spaces. What are we down? We're out of gases, I'm sure. So, okay. So that's where that's at. It's been a long video. We're still embroiled in this war. That's what you need to know. That's the important part. How much of this are we selling? Oh, we need to just stop selling it then. Okay. And then here's this number up here. Alright. Well, it is what it is. I wish it was something else. This is killing me, Smalls. It's killing me. We're doing what we can. And you can see from just watching, you know, a bunch of the ships are escaping. Escape. That one escaped. Just watch them roll by. That one died. That one died. That one escaped. 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 So lots of ships. Yeah, I just feel like they got to rework on their math on that. The whole idea that those ships can keep escaping and not getting destroyed when we've got a bazillion ships in that system. And so this cycle goes on and on and on and on forever. And we're no closer to ending this damn war. And then I think we've established why this is the way it is. Because these bozos are at war with 2 different enemies, 2 different alliances, and neither alliance is able to fully conquer all their planets, so we can't get that occupation score to go up enough to make it. And we saw that at the start of last episode. Remember, it started out somewhere around -75, and then very quickly it jumped to -233 because they got themselves involved in a war with a completely different alliance. And that adjusted the score. So we were on our way to crushing those guys and getting them to capitulate, and now it's not. See, it says 52% occupation over here on this side. Occupation 52% due to 135 occupied systems and 41 occupied planets. Because the other 48% are occupied by the other alliance that they're at war with. In fact, I'm going to take a screenshot of that. And I'm going to try to make a post on that for these guys. Because this is the problem. So there's, I'm going to take a screenshot there. And I'm going to do this next thing. My game will let me. Because these ding-dongs.
Research complete.
Right here. The Sidrons. The Sidrons are the problem. Well, it's not just the Sidrons, but I think that's an important distinction to make, that these guys are at war with two separate factions, and so that prevents any of us from finishing. Alright, let's see if we can get Paradox's attention. Not that they'll do anything about it, but at least they'll know. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, if you dig it, subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video, drop your questions or comments down below, and I'll see you all next time on Let's Play Stellaris Grand Admiral No Scaling.